This is the GQ Coaches Show with coaches Goins and Quick, brought to you by the United States Basketball Association, the leader in youth basketball, USBAHoops.com. Now, get ready to chop it up with your hosts, Coaches G and Q, for the real talk in sports.
Hey, happy new year from the GQ Coaches Show. Coach Quick, I see you, man. You still got your noise maker? No, I'm just clowning. But listen, we are so excited to be with you in 2023. It's hard to believe, but you know what? It is 2023. Coach Quick, we got a full slate. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Coach G? You want to know what's popping with Coach Q? Well, man, Coach Q is so excited about our very special guest via telephone tonight. I feel like I'm posted up on Folsom Field in Boulder, Colorado, posted up at midfield, waiting to have a great conversation with an outstanding young man who's going to be a defensive end on the Colorado Buffaloes next season. And after this short break, Coach G and I are going to come right back, and we're going to be chopping it up with our very special guest. So make sure those cleats are laced up tight.
You're listening to Coaches G and Q Chopping It Up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others. He is a defensive end for the Colorado Buffaloes. He's none other than Taijh Alston. Welcome to the GQ Coaches Show.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. Glad to be here, man, and glad to have you on this show, Taijh.
Yes, sir.
You know, and what's so great about this, Coach Quick and Taijh and everybody that's listening again, we're excited because it's not every day that you get as hot as Coach Prime is and what's going on in the world of college football. We've got a all-star home guy, originally from North Carolina. We're going to get into all that, but we're so excited. So, Coach Quick, you know what? First of all, you know what? Happy New Year to both of you brothers. And as we get ready to get into this whole deal, I'm going to kick it over to Coach Quick to kick this thing off.
Yes, sir. Taijh, our first question for you is, just tell our listening audience who Taijh Alston is and what you stand for.
I'm Taijh Alston. I'm from Lumberton, North Carolina. I just want everybody to know, like, I'm a hard-working guy, a guy that never give up, and I'm always put my head down and work.
Yes, sir. Yeah, from everything that we've always known, Taijh, you're a humble young man, you're a hard worker, and throughout the course of this conversation, a lot is going to be told about your story, and I just believe, man, that you're on to bigger and better things with the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Coach G, I'll kick it back over to you.
Well, you know what I'm excited about? Not only is it, Colorado, but my thing is for the folks that are listening, right? We've got the opportunity to sit here and chop it up with a young man that is, had an outstanding career at West Virginia. Now he dipped into the portal and he landed out there with Colorado. So let me ask you this, Ty. I got to go ahead. Coach Quick, if I don't go ahead, I'm going to pass out. How was it, Taijh, the first time you walked in there and put some of that Colorado stuff on?
Yeah, it felt good, sir. Like, because I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't even expect like this, like Deion to come to me when I hit the portal. But it was amazing, man. Getting there, seeing the campus and everything. Like, the facility is amazing. It just felt great getting there and putting the uniform on.
Well, you know what was sweet, and I know we got a copy of the video that you shot, and I think you had your luggage, your Louis Vuitton, and the face shield on and all that. So I was hyped, and I never been to Boulder, Colorado, and I never been on that in the stadium. But I've been tracking Coach Prime and everything that he stands for. And again, not just because he went to Colorado, but the things that he got done down at Jackson State. So with that, Coach Quick, what you got?
Yes, sir. Taijh, let's talk about your playing days at Union Pines High School, and what did it mean for you to play alongside your brother, Kamal Fairley?
It was amazing, man. Of course, when you get to play the game with your brother, it means a little more knowing that you're going out to war with your brother. But it was amazing playing for Union Pines. That was the best decision I ever made, was to go there and just work my way up to get to where I'm at today. But it was amazing playing for Union Pines. I had a great 4 years there. It was amazing playing with my brother. for 3 of them years. But yeah, it was amazing though, man. I can't complain. Just glad that I went there and made that decision.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, it's something special, Todd, to be able to don that Union Pines Viking jersey. As a senior, I wore number 66. I played defensive tackle. So, and you were a DN. I noticed that you were a 3-year starter. And, just following you in your career at Union Pines, you and Kamal, you guys were beasts, man. Y'all put the nail in the coffin on a lot of kids. I tell you what, big time, big time.
Yeah.
You guys were ready, man.
That was some good time.
So who was
Yes, sir.
who was the head coach, Taj, when you were at Union Pines?
Coach Regan.
Okay.
Ryan Regan.
Oh yeah, and now his dad was my old baseball coach when I was in middle school, and then he was the principal at Union Pines when his dad was the one that hired me at Union Pines. Man, that is a small world, Coach Quick. What do you think?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Small world.
Dr. Regan was my principal.
And then I think his son Ryan now was out at St. Louis Community College with Coach Apple.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Man, that's a small world. So you know what? So here's the thing I want to go to. So now, what is your plans? All right, and here's the thing I kind of want to frame out is, how do you put that Buffalo jersey on and go back and go back to Union Pines and speak to that team? I mean, if you were given that platform, what would be the first thing that you would tell them young guys?
First thing I tell them young guys is, because I feel like nowadays with football, it's about, social media, a lot more social media instead of the actual, putting in the grind and work, I feel like, with this generation. So I just feel like first thing I would tell them is to work and grind and just, perfect your craft every chance you get. Every time you think about it, when you laying down, not doing that, perfect your craft and just work. And the thing I learned with work, if you work, good things gonna come. And if you stay prepared and ready, you'll be in a good position at the end. So that was the first thing I would tell them, because if you even want to reach this level, it takes a lot of hard work.
Wow.
And it started with me at a young age, so that's the first thing I would tell them. But if you don't got the work ethic and the drive, you won't even make it this far.
Wow.
So it got to be in you. It ain't got to be on you.
Wow. Coach Quick.
Yes, sir.
Man, is that not like an all-star? Was that not scripted to the utmost right there? In the new year, hearing about it can't be. It's got to be in you, right? You ain't gonna walk by and just be like, "Well, let me go over here to the water cooler and get me a little bottle of water," and all of a sudden I become like this all-world defensive end.
It don't work like that.
No. I mean, you got to put that body work in, and Taijh is laying it down. And the most exciting thing is what I'm enjoying it so far, Coach Quick. When the game comes on this year and we turn it on, you know what we can say? Not just what now you know what game day's going. Now you know they're gonna roll up out there on campus and
they headed to Boulder.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know they're gonna be out there. And we're gonna be able to sit back and go, you know what? We got an inside track. We've had somebody on the GQ Coaches Show and getting that firsthand information. So, Coach Quick, what you got?
Yes, sir. Taijh, my next question for you is, what was the recruiting process like for you coming out of high school? And what schools were in your top 8?
Coming out of high school, I would like to say West Virginia, NC State, of course, East Carolina, that's where I went to. And Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina, that was my top 1. I really wanted the Carolina offer, but I ain't get it out of high school for some reason.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And, okay, so ultimately you decided to commit to East Carolina coming out of high school. What brought you to that decision?
I wanted to play right away, but even though I was young back then, I should have just went to a Power 5 program, because I did have Power 5 offers. I should have just went there. Instead of being in the rush to play, I should have just settled down and developed my body more so I could be ready to play. But, yeah, I went to East Carolina because I wanted to play right. I wanted to give myself the best opportunity to play right away. But now that I'm thinking about it, I should have did things a little different. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad because everything happens for a reason.
Wow.
So I'm blessed that everything went out the way it is, because God don't make no mistake.
Absolutely, young sir. And, hey, you got it. You really you're filling out the thought process about everything, and man, I can appreciate that. Coach G, I'll kick it back over to you.
Well, I tell you what, man. You know what, folks? If you don't understand who we got on today, man, it's the New Year resolution. You know, some of you might already scratched yours out, but no, I'm just chopping it up. But you know who we have on via telephone is Taijh Alston. He is playing for Colorado University, right? And that is, yes, Coach Prime Deion Sanders is his head coach. He just transferred from West Virginia. He's out there. He actually grew up in our hometown, in our home county, Moore County. Played at Union Pines High School, where Coach Quick went to high school. I used to coach there, so it's just some of the old heads just getting back together, sharing some concepts for the young guys out there. And we just certainly appreciate everybody, tuning in today. But what we're going to do, step away, pay a few bills, but we have our very special guest via telephone, Mr. Taijh Alston from none other than the Buffaloes at Colorado University, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Pete Chilcutt, North Carolina Tar Heel and NBA champion. You're listening to the GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs, so whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Hey, this is Chris Spatola, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss, the real talk in sports.
All right, this is Coach Goins, and we're back in. You know what, Coach Quick, as we get ready to get into the game plan, it's brought to you by our main man, Mr. Chris Montgomery of Alcova Mortgage. When it's time to get in the game, call Chris at 540-290-0558. Coach Quick, man, it's the new year. We're excited, and what a great, once again, and Taijh, I call Coach Quick the mailman because he's always delivering on our guests. He went out, and think about it, Coach Quick, how many people going to go out there and say they got somebody from Colorado right out the gate on their show? And I don't know, but I'm giving you your props right here in the new year, and I appreciate what you do each and every week for our listening audience and keeping them on the cutting edge. So with that, I'll kick it to you, Coach.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Taijh, how did your time at ECU and Copiah Lincoln Community College ground and help shape you into the player you are today?
I feel like it helped a lot because as far as like me, I was young at East Carolina and then really going to JUCO. I feel like that was the best thing that ever happened to me as well because it taught me how to appreciate everything. Because, at junior college, you don't get the football check how you get at Division I. So it grounded me and it taught me it showed me that I really love the game because you basically doing it for, you're doing it for a better opportunity, of course. But at that moment, you're doing it for free. So I felt like it really taught me a lot and to appreciate everything. And I feel like I really needed that. So when I got to West Virginia, I was appreciative of everything. I never complained. Well, I've never been the type to complain, but I really never complained. Like everything, I was just grateful for everything. And I'm still grateful for everything. It just taught me how to be more grounded and appreciative. And they wise you up too, as far as like, well, I never was a guy to really get in much trouble or anything like that. But I just, like, it taught me to stay out the way and just focus on the mission.
Yes, sir. And that's what it's about, man. You showed your humbleness and humility, and you just went out there and you grinded. You worked hard at Capaya Lincoln Community College, and you set yourself up for a bright, bright future
yes, sir.
Going on to the Mountaineers.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Coach
everything happens for a reason.
Yes, sir. And you know
that's
what?
Right.
You know, and when I went on the web, man, you know, you can't hide from the internet. So I went on the website and I was searching for these pictures. Then I got this picture of Taijh. He's like in the end zone. I think it's like pregame, and it's like they're almost like in the diamond formation. Like he's leading the guys and he's hyping them up. And your number was well, let's say number 12. Is that, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a great photo. But what I really appreciate what you just said is, you know, you're grateful. You're grateful for the opportunity. Think about the coaches and, you know, going to community college and, you know, your mom and your dad sewing into your life and just listening and understanding. But here's where I want to go with this right here. So you go in the transfer portal. How, if you don't mind explaining to our audience, how was it when Colorado, I mean, did they call you? Did they say, hey, man, walk us through that if you don't mind.
So as soon as I entered the transfer portal, I like working out, so I was just working out, staying in shape, and I was just waiting on a call. And Colorado, they called and they said that they wanted to offer me a scholarship. They needed a veteran edge rusher, so, and I was just waiting on the sign, like for a great opportunity. And when Dion and them, his staff came for me, I just couldn't pass the opportunity up for my last year of college football.
Coach Quick?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to get me some gear. I'm going to have to get me a Colorado, like a hat. You know what I mean? Because it's a different thing now. And I'm not just saying that because he's on the show, but when you can relate to that stuff. Just like when Caleb, now think about when we have people on our show, man, they're part of us now. You know, so you're part of the GQ Coaches Show. Right? So when you go back in there and you go in there and you telling your guys and on the team, you say, man, I've been on ESPN radio. And they be like, what? Say, yeah, man, some of my guys back from, because I'm in Virginia, Coach Quick is in North Carolina, and they'll be like, what? Say, man, I've been on ESPN radio. So, yeah, you tell Coach Prime, he want to be, you know what? He want to go to another level. He need to go ahead and give us a shout, and then we can have you and Coach Prime on. Because, again, I mean, and that's the thing. And what I'm excited about, Coach Quick, is just what Mr. Alston is bringing to the show. Is just his level, his maturity is beyond the years. He's able to think about it. He jumped on that bird. He flew out to Colorado, and they dropped that video down. And I was blown away. And Coach Quick said, hey, I'm going to send you a video. And he sent me the video, and you were doing your thing. And I was like, and I've been following it on YouTube and looking at all of the stuff that you guys got out there, and I'm just like, I'm blown away, man. And you know what? And I'm excited for you. I know you got to run all the sprints, you got to learn the plays, and you got to go in the meetings. Yeah. But I'm excited for you. And it's just like when you're sitting in there, it's gonna be like I'm sitting in there. So wait a minute, is that Coach Quick standing in the back of the end zone? All right, Coach, I'm throwing it to you.
I'm catching it for the touchdown pass. Yes, Taijh, man, your decision to attend West Virginia after Capaya Lincoln Community College, what brought you to that decision? And let's just talk about your time as a Mountaineer, because, man, it was pretty special.
My time as a Mountaineer was amazing, man. Like, the people there, my brothers there, it was an amazing place. I'm glad I went there to play. But, like, for my situation, it was just time to move on both ways. But I'll forever have love for the program. I'm always going to be a Mountaineer. I just, for my last year, I just wanted something different. So, I'm thankful that I went there, played there. I loved it there, had an amazing time there. But, yeah, it was just time for me to move on for my last year, and I was seeking different opportunities.
Yes, sir. Let me run down some things for you as a junior at at West Virginia. 2021 Redshirt Junior, Mayo Clinic Comeback Player of the Year, honorable mention. Played in 13 games, including 12 starts. Finished with 37 tackles, including 23 solo stops, 5 sacks, and 11 tackles for loss. Ranked number 2 on the team in tackles for loss with 11. Recorded 3 tackles, including a tackle for loss and a forced fumble in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl versus Minnesota. Had 3 tackles against Texas. Registered his 5th sack of the year at Kansas State. Had 3 tackles against Oklahoma State and assisted on a tackle for loss. One of his 2 tackles against Iowa State was for a loss. Recorded 3 tackles at TCU. Had 5 tackles against Texas Tech, including 2.5 behind the line for tackles for loss. Finished with a pair of sacks at Oklahoma, a career high. Tallied 1.5 sacks against Virginia Tech to go along with 4 total tackles. Outstanding year, Taijh, man. Great job.
Yes, sir.
Man.
I'm trying to get back to that.
Man.
2023.
Good Lord. But, you know, Coach Quick.
Yes, sir.
Man, he sound like he played for them Steelers.
Absolutely.
Was that the Steelers stat sheet or was that West Virginia stat sheet?
That was Taijh Alston's stat sheet.
At West Virginia. Okay, I thought I might have like misheard you or something. Like, man, it sound like he need to be playing for that black and gold on right? And Coach Tomlin. Because that was but you know what? And we chopping it up right there. But you know what? That's just flat out outstanding. You mean? That's just a body of work, and that just don't happen when you walk by the water cooler, right? And you spoke on that, and Coach Quick, I appreciate you bringing that out. But you know what? No wonder Deion Sanders called you. You mean that's just like who gonna sit there and listen to that and go, what? He available? Man, somebody better call him and get him that plane ticket going out. All right, Coach Quick.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, who we have on, he is the defensive end for the Colorado Buffaloes, Mr. Taijh Alston. As we close out our game plan segment, it is brought to you by Chris Montgomery of Alcova Mortgage. When it's time to get in the game, call Chris at 540-290-0558, and we'll be right back.
There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs. So whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA.
Hey, this is Coach Mike Apple, head men's basketball coach and athletic director of Sand Hills Community College, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
All right, this is Coach Goins, and we're back in, and again, we want to say Happy New Year to everybody. We're so excited for our special guest tonight, and that's Mr. Taijh Alston, all the way from right now. He, of course, via telephone, but he's in North Carolina, but he just signed for his last year of college football with Coach Prime. That's right, Deion Sanders at Colorado University, and you're hearing from one of those players tonight right here on the GQ Coaches Show, kicking off the new year. So we're starting already off at a high level. Coach Quick, I'll kick it to you.
Yes, sir. Taijh, what are your expectations for the season, personally and for your team?
My expectations for this year, as a Buff, is to get new newcomer of the year, Pac-12, first team Pac-12, and I want to just come in there and dominate the Pac-12 and just help my team in any way I can. At like, not even like as far as like my role for the team, just me doing everything I possibly can for the team, being wherever my coach need me to be, and just working hard and just stacking days, man. Never look too far ahead. Like each day, like even though them are my goals, I know you got to look right in front of you about your goals. So me just taking it one day at a time and working every single day towards my goals, I just feel like I'll accomplish it and keeping God first. But yeah, them are my goals for this upcoming season. I want to be a captain. It's my last season. I just want to go in there and work and be coached by a great coach like Coach Fromm, and just leave it in God's hands and let the cards fall where they may be.
Absolutely. Do you already know who your position coach is for next year?
Yes, sir. Nick Williams, Coach Williams.
Okay. Yes, sir. Man, I know you're going to put in the work because you continuously stay in the weight room with your brothers and your dad. That do me a favor. When you're in the weight room with Donald again, give him the mouth sign for me.
Every time I'm home, I'm in the gym with him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that Donald, he'll get a kick out of that with the mouth and the house sign for me. That's my guy right there. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But you know,
all right, Coach C.
You know what? And I tell you what, man, it's as Taijh is laying it down, and my mind just runs back to when I was, your dad and I were in school together, and that wasn't yesterday. That's almost, that's over 40 years ago, man. And now here I am. Now here you are, get ready to go out west, play for one of the legendary, probably one of the. Well, I ain't gonna say it. He's probably he and Bo Jackson, pound for pound, probably the greatest athletes to ever play the game of football. And they play various sports. But in that, my thing is this, and I know time is of essence, and we value your time. But if you don't mind, tell the people if how tall are you?
I'm like 6'4.5", 257, 258.
All right, 6'4", 258. And what's the jersey number gonna be?
Number 7 for this upcoming year.
Number 7. So when he coming off, I'm telling you, Coach Quick, I'm telling you what. When we finish this show tonight, I'm getting on Amazon and I'm ordering me a Buff hat.
Yes, sir.
And somebody gonna say, "What you?" Say, "Oh, you." I was like, "No." I said, "Not only am I Buff, I also know somebody that plays on the squad that's been on the show. So don't talk to me about when I wear that. Plus, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. So he's got that black and the old gold right now, Coach Quick.
Mm-hmm.
But after this season, he may have that black and the Steel City gold. Coach Tomlin get a hold of that stuff and see it, right? So think about it. So if you got T.J. Watt on one corner, how come you can't come off the other corner?
Absolutely.
Hey,
okay. All right. I'm just saying now.
I'm gonna just let God keep working and work every day toward my dreams.
All right. Coach Quick, you heard it right here. Now it's the new year, so we're gonna write it down. Right? As it says, you got the right division and make it plain. So all you guys out there in the land that know football, y'all better call us up. So Coach Quick, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to you so you start wrapping up. So like I said, I know Taijh, your schedule is packed out tonight. Go ahead, Coach.
Yes, sir. Taijh, I'd just like to say, man, thank you for coming on our show, embracing your presence. And,
no problem. Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely. And just having you here chopping it up with us, man, it means everything to me. And I'd just like to give you an opportunity to, give us your closing comments and just talk about your family for a minute.
I come from a hard-working family, man. My mom, she worked for everything she got. My dad, he always taught me how to work, and he worked for every single thing he got. I just come from a hard-working family, man. Like from what I've seen growing up, we don't take no shortcuts. And we honest people. We just work hard, man. That's where I come from, and that's what I thrive off of, just working hard, man, and staying positive. Of course, you got life things that come your way, but if you stay positive and work hard, you'll get through it. And that's what I was raised on, and that's where I come from, and that's what I stand on for real.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about. Coach G, kicking it back over to you.
Well, listen, Taijh, we want to certainly appreciate, again, your time, your talent. And here's our blessings to you, brother. We bless you 1,000-fold over on your travels back and forth across country. We travel. We traveling graces to your parents. Definitely tell your dad that we said hello, and we'll send you the information and everything that, and we just want, we're excited. For you, we're excited for the opportunity. So you got our blessing. So young man, go west, and you know what? Don't look back. Take care of business, and we'll be pulling for you. So yes, sir. We appreciate you. Yes, sir. And so look, folks, as we get ready to get out of this segment, we want to thank our sponsors, and that's from none other than the Havoc House of Waynesboro, Virginia. So when you're ready to go in swinging, make sure you contact them at 540-447-1362. This is Coach Goins along with none other than Coach Mike Quick.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
This is Bobby Collins, the head men's basketball coach at T. Shaw University. And you're listening to the GQ Coaching Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN 1240, The Boss.
The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA.
You're listening to Coaches G and Q Chopping It Up.
There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs. So whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Hey, this is Kenny Anderson, 6th men's basketball coach, and you're listening to GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports, on ESPN Radio, 1240, The Boss.
All right, this is Coach Goins back in. Happy New Year once again. Coach Quick, man, I tell you what, man, I don't know what we got to do, but somebody's got to know that you are out here shaking the bushes. I mean, you think about that. It's the brand new year, and now here we have had the honor and the privilege of having somebody on from the Colorado University that's going to be pumping it up with none other than Coach Deion Sanders. So when I say that, Coach, what runs through your mind?
Well, number one, it's a surreal moment. Just to be able to sit back and know someone, from basically your hometown, and to know him and his family, and he's going to be going out to Boulder, Colorado, to don that Colorado Buffaloes University jersey and be playing for Coach Prime. Man, that's big time. It's a surreal moment, and I'm happy for Todd. Super proud of the kid, and man, I think he's going to do big and bigger things for the Colorado Buffaloes.
You know what? That's exactly right, man. When you look at what he said, when you look at what he said in reference to, coming off of he's already got goals. You know what I mean? And
yes,
he ain't sitting there just going like, okay. And then he knows what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish, how he wants to affect the team. Excuse me again, and then be able to really set the pace and be able to do some things. Yes, so hopefully our young audience be able to capture that, and hopefully some of the parents may be able to that might have heard that conversation we had with Taijh in the earlier portion of the show, be able to really latch on and let people know that, you know what, wow, there is, you can go through the junior college ranks and work up. And like you said, and what I really liked about it is when he went back and said, instead of him trying to just play right out, he should have went on to the Power 5, worked his craft a little bit, worked on his body. Instead of just wanting to play when he first came out of school. But I just appreciate his transparency.
Absolutely, and just his humbleness, man. His humility is shown throughout. It displays his character, and he's putting God first, and that's the main thing. And he has dreams and big time dreams and big time goals, and he's gonna. As long as he continue to keep God first, he's going to accomplish every one of those goals.
Oh, that's exactly right, man. So when you got big time dreams, big time goals, and you got the big man looking down, ain't but one crash gonna happen. That's gonna land you right into some destination where you want to be. So hey, listen, we're right here in the middle of Real Talk, and again, I just want to give you a shout out, and just as we sit down and we chopping it up and coming out of 2022. Just kind of, here's where I really want to go, kind of, Coach Quick, is just get your vibe on some of the past shows that we've had. I mean, when I sit down and I go down through the list, and we talked about this before we came on the air tonight, and some of the guests that we've had on, and and I want to start right here. When I say start right here, I want to start with a guy that I've known basically, well, it seems like all my life, Coach Bobby Collins. We always talk about how he's a great storyteller. And the things that he does, he's the head coach at Shaw University, and actually had a very good game the other night, and they're doing quite well, and just hopefully they'll be able to get on the path that he really wants that team to get on. But just his body of work and the levels that he's touched across the board. What's your take when you have conversation with Coach Collins on the air, as well as when you fellowship when we're not on the air?
Well, I tell you what, man, is just he's a people's person first and foremost, and number two, it just a great guy, great character guy, and as you said, storyteller. He's gonna drop dimes like no other, and he's a heck of a basketball coach. I just appreciate Coach Collins for his time and opportunity to be on the GQ Coaches Show, and just to sit here and chop it up with you and I. It's been a blessing to have him on, not only on the GQ Coaches Show, but we had him on our podcast as well, Basketball More in the Game. It was truly a blessing.
You know what? Without a doubt. So I'll kick it over to you as we reminisce down 2022.
Yeah, I think one of the best shows for me was Kenny Anderson, former Georgia Tech point guard and former NBA great. Just being able to sit here and chop it up with him as he embarked on his new journey as the head men's basketball coach at Fisk University. Just his transparency, how he talked about his mom, and when he became emotional, talking about his high school days, man, and that just meant a lot to me, just to have his transparency and to be able to sit here and chop it up with us. Emotions running rampant for him, and man, pretty special guy. And just to have him as a friend of the show, it was special for me.
And once again, I got to give you a shout out. You went out there and got Kenny Anderson and Lethal Weapon 3. I mean, just anybody that knows ACC basketball, this guy was a blue blood, right? He was prime time, no doubt about it. He was the guy, great guy. He's had some health issues. Like you said, he did get emotional on the show. But what I loved about the whole show, and when you were running down the hills, and he said, "Coach, I'm getting ready to hang up," right? That was such I mean, that right there, you don't get that from all of your guests, right? So some guests come on and we try to make them relax and just have a good time as we chop it up. And we don't like to say we do interviews. We just like to say we have conversations. And as in that conversation, what was so critical in that is how he talked about his mother. And he said, what made you go to Georgia Tech? He said, man, my mama said I was going to Georgia Tech. That's how I ended up. That's how I ended up at Georgia Tech. So, and I appreciate you recognizing that show. Just tremendous. Now, here's where I want to go with this one. Now, I know you're going to like this one right here.
Yes, sir.
This guy was a Houston Rocket.
Absolutely.
Right? And he played in Chapel Hill. And that cover, that media guy was King Rice. That was also Rick Fox, and a very special friend, Mr. Pete Chilcutt. And here's some feedback that I got from that show. One of the guys from North Carolina is a great friend of the show. He called me after he listened to the show, and this is what he said, Coach. He said, "Man, that guy," he said, "Man, it seemed like I could listen to y'all all day. He just made us." What's your take on Pete?
Man, Pete Chilcutt was outstanding. I mean, just humble guy. Sat up here, chopped it up with us. He laughed, he talked about how we made him look good, but man, he made us look good as well. Pete was NBA champion, outstanding player at the University of North Carolina. I think back in 2012 it was. They were going down a list of the top athletes from each of the 50 states, and guess who was the number one player out of the state of Alabama? None other than Pete Chilcutt. Yes, sir.
That's exactly right, man. I mean, when you stop and you think about that, and then what was so strange, he knows guys that we know, right?
Absolutely.
He's on the show, and we talk about Ralph Sampson, and he told him that Ralph's a great friend of the show and everything, and he was like, "Man, you tell Ralph." And I told Ralph the next time I saw Ralph, I was, "Hey, man, somebody asked about you." He's like, "Who may that be?" I said, "Pete Chilcutt." And he said, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean," and that's the thing that the game of. Well, I'm almost said the game of basketball. And I don't want to misspeak. Well, really not misspeak, but the world of sports, people don't realize it just is. You can learn a lot, Coach, from the game or in sports in general, because you take people from all walks of life that come together and they play on the team. And as they play on the team, they got to learn the good, the bad, the ugly. What makes this go? What makes that go? Today you may be the man, and I may not be able to throw it in the ocean. But how do I pick you up, right? What do you may be dealing with off the court that guess what? That I may be dealing with that you mean, it's so, I think the world as a whole, when they get behind watching the World Cup or the Super Bowl or the World Series or whatever it may be, look at look how so many different people come together to play a game. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I completely agree, because like you said, you put the guys from all different areas together and you try to form a team, and that's what it's about. You not only are you teaching them about basketball, but you're teaching these kids about life lessons and how to grow and become young men and women in today's society. And that, to me, that means everything. Growth is everything.
That's exactly right. Because if you ain't growing, you clogging the pipeline. You hurting people more than you're helping them. Now you know what? I gotta call this guy out because once again you went and got him. He's got a pipeline in New York. Saw him on television the other night.
Get them together,
right? Saw him. Now people, Coach Quick trying to be modest, right? And I understand that, and I tell him that all the time. But he's out here, and I don't know what it is. And we said this the other night when we had Dr. Love and Caleb on. I don't know what it is about the Carolina Blue Bloods, but these guys will answer the call, and I certainly appreciate it. And I just again, you're supposed to give credit where credit's due. And Coach Quick guy had none other than Mr. Derek D. Nice Phelps. I got a note from D. Nice the other night when I said I saw him with Coach Williams when the Hills played in New York. And you know what? Here's the thing that I loved about D Nice is just he was humble. He understood, playing at Archbishop Malloy High School. I mean, it's just, then King, what was it? Christ the King is where he went to high school. So what was your thoughts on D Nice's show?
Man, outstanding show. D Nice was humble, just a really nice guy. Talked about his time as a Tar Heel. Man, it was great for me because yourself, I bleed that Tar Heel blue, and just to have D Nice, Pete Chilcutt on, those guys, Caleb, Dennis Love, man, it's been outstanding for me, just to sit here and enjoy the ride and chop it up with those guys. But D Nice, man, just special player at North Carolina. Outstanding defensive-minded point guard would absolutely lock you down. He was a great leader on that 93 national championship team, and just to sit here and chop it up with him was a blessing for us.
You know what? Without a doubt. So listen, It is the new year, and Coach Quick and I in the middle of Real Talk, and we're talking about some of the great shows that we had in the 2022 year. We're going to step away, hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right. The United States Basketball Association, the USBA, was founded in 2005. The USBA has been a leader in grassroots basketball tournaments and camps for boys and girls of all ages across the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. It is our goal to develop young people and equip them with skills that will help them advance both on and off the court. Visit their website at usbahoops.com. Their email is info@usbahoops.com or by telephone at 704-649-6812. All basketball, all the time. And thank you for playing USBA. There's a lot of reasons why people trust Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage. They have a diverse lineup of loan programs. So whether you're looking to buy a home, refinance, or tackle college expenses with your equity, you can put Chris Montgomery at Alcova Mortgage in the game for you. Call 540-290-0558 or go online to alcova.com/C Montgomery.
Looking for something fun but different to do? Join a group of friends, family, or co-workers to destroy electronics, break some glass, or even throw some axes. At the Havoc House located downtown Waynesboro, Virginia, visit their website at havochouseva.com and book your appointment today.
Hey, this is Coach Mike Apple, head men's basketball coach and athletic director of Sand Hills Community College, and you're listening to the GQ Coaches Show, the real talk in sports on ESPN Radio 1240, The Boss.
All right, this is Coach Goins along with Coach Quick, and we are right in the middle of our Real Talk segment. Kind of doing a little year in review, if you will. Talking about some of our guests that we've had on and friends of the show. And I tell you what, there's two guys that I want to toss out. And that is, the first one is none other than our great friend. That's Coach Mike Apple of the Sand Hills Community College Flyers. Coach Apple always answers the call, and not just answer the call. I mean, just him, the human being that he is. I was actually talking to Curtis Jackson, and Curtis was talking about one of his friends had some encounters with. One of his friend's son had an encounter with Coach Apple, and just how positive it was, and they kind of really walked away, and they were like, really, really, it just elated. It was just, but I'm not surprised. You've known Coach Apple all your life. I basically, since I've been coaching, you'll follow Coach Apple. Just tremendous, and I'll kick it to you for your comments.
Yeah, Coach Apple's a great guy. What he's doing at Sand Hills Community College is pretty special, and to know that, hey, he's somebody that we know. We were around at Union Pines. I played for him. He was one of the assistant coaches on the football team, and I was around the basketball program when he was the JV coach at Union Pines. And just to be able to sit back and watch what he's done over the course of his career with the Sand Hills Flyers, 2 national championships, and he's the AD and the head coach there now, and they're operating off a pretty solid season so far. And I wish him nothing but the best. He also, during our show, we talked about him winning the silver medal back in Spain for the U18 team, I believe it was. And just his body of work has been tremendous. Coach Apple always answers the bell, and I appreciate him for who he is.
You know what? Without a doubt, man. Well said, Coach. Well said. All right, so listen, we're going to turn our attention over to a little bit of college basketball. We had some preseason, excuse me. We had some early ACC games, and we had some ACC games after Christmas. We've got some late games that happened right here at the end of 2022. But the game that we want to, I want to go here. I know you're a Carolina guy, and I'm a Pitt guy. You're loyal to the Carolina guys. I'm loyal to the Carolina guys. But the blood runs a little bit deeper when the Panthers play, just because that's my people coaching. And you know what? I guess I get nervous, Coach Quick, I guess I don't know. Just like the other night when they played Syracuse, and we were up and they ended up winning, and my son came by and shook my hand at the end of the game. He said, "Dad," he said, "man, your hands are just soaking wet." Because I don't know, man. When I watched the game like that, I don't know. How do you feel? Let's go inside. Let's go inside the locker room with you during the Carolina game. What goes through your mind? Let the listening audience take them inside Coach Quick's process.
Well, number one, I want them to always come out and show toughness, show grit, show the fight to those other teams. And at a key game like coming back after Christmas break, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to withstand somebody hitting you in the mouth, and you got to be ready to hit somebody in the mouth. You got to be tough. I mean, you can't beat two of the Big Ten teams, top teams in the Big Ten, in Michigan and Ohio State. And in my opinion, it was a game that Carolina was supposed to win against Pitt. But, I mean, you can't take anything away from the Panthers. I mean, they come out, they gave the fight to the Tar Heels. Hey, we're not going to back down to you just because you're supposed to be the mighty North Carolina Tar Heels. You hadn't been so mighty lately, so everybody's coming at you, and they're going to give you their very best shot. So I just, inside the locker, I just want them to come out, show the fight, have passion, and, man, don't turn the ball over. Those are my biggest things. And, I'm nervous when a game gets tight like that as well. I prefer to see the blowout, but I like to see good games. I mean, just being honest.
Well, you say that it's kind of funny because when I was thinking back on that game, here it is Monday, and they played that game Friday, and of course, they won't get in the ACC play again till later on in the week. But you're exactly right. I mean, I'm sitting there, like I said, it's a little different being related to the Caples, and then of course I'm texting their mom, and she was like, she was nervous, I was nervous. It got to the point where I wasn't even sitting down. I was just standing up in front of the television. I don't know if that helped them or hurt them, but I don't know. I guess I had to do it, because in that, I guess it's, even though I want Hubert Davis to win, and again, if it would be the same thing, if Coach Capel was coaching Sand Hills Community College or Shaw University or coaching any school, you want just like Taijh, right? Now that we know that Taijh is at West Virginia, now that we know he's going to Colorado, you got a vested interest because you know somebody. Think about all of the Carolina guys that we've had on the show. I'm partial to Carolina not just because I live in Virginia, but also you got ties to them. I like UVA, even though I'm not a UVA fan, but I'm good friends with Ralph Sampson, and I understand that Ralph was the greatest player that ever played at Virginia, ever, right? So in that, and then being around that, being around some of the program guys, and then being able to meet Coach Bennett, and spend time with Ricky Stokes and his brother Dr. Stokes and Chris Mull, you become loyal to those guys because those guys answer the call, they speak to you, and same thing with the Carolina guys. And so forth. But yeah, and that's what sports, that's what it does to me, Coach, is be able to really lean in and have those conversations. And you know what? Everybody can't win, but ultimately, like you said, teams have got to be ready to go, right? Yeah, this game was played. They played at 12 o'clock, which I kind of thought was a little off kilter, and I get it just because it was the holiday and travel. But when you look back on games, you got to be able to say, what was the pivotal point? And when I look back at that game, recapping that, if you will, I thought Carolina came out, but like you said, could never deliver that knockout blow. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like I told you off air. I felt like we controlled the game for most of the game, but we could never get enough separation away from Pitt to actually put them away. And that kind of worried me. And, you and I talked about this before Christmas break. We said that it's going to be really hard for the road team to come in, not making any excuses by no stretch of the imagination.
No, sir. You're right.
But it'd be really hard for the road team to come in for a noon start on Friday. At Pitt's at home, they're comfortable. They're shooting in their own gym. And, yeah, basketball is basketball. You got to be ready, especially when you come out and you were the preseason number one team in the country. And a stat that baffles me is the most losses by a preseason number one team before January 1st. Before January 1st, the most losses by a preseason number one team, and it's attached to the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's not very good. And I know for you, it's pretty good bragging rights on this show today after watching that game Friday, because I'm a Carolina guy, you're a big guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we're about. We go at it.
Well, and that's exactly right. And like I said, I mean, it's matter of fact, I was, when I'm sitting there watching the game, of course, people texting me, my boss texted me, say, you watching the Pitt Carolina game? Absolutely. Right. The only reason why I ain't in there watching, if I was at the hall, I'm like, y'all better turn that to the game. I mean, and again, you know what, Coach, it's because we're basketball fans, right? We're basketball fans. We understand the game. And most importantly, we appreciate the game. Win, lose, or draw, we're able to step back and say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? This is what we didn't do good today. Just like down the stretch of the game, you got to execute. And what comes back to my mind, here it is Monday night, and I remember just like it was earlier today, is they inbound the ball and Pitt's guard dribbles it off his foot. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? So in that process, that one moment, right? Just like Caleb comes down, he hadn't scored in the second half, and he tosses up a three, and it banks in and goes in. That changes the game. That stretches that game all the way out another 10 minutes because he hits that 3-point shot, and people go, what? I mean, and it's just a rebound here, a free throw right here, a 50-50 ball right here. Those are the pivotal moments in games that sometimes players, that I'm not going to say players miss, but in that moment, it may not seem like it's that big, but it's huge. But I will say this. I think Nance got hurt or something happened because he didn't come back in the game. Any insight on that?
Well, from what I gather, it was a little minor injury, and he didn't come back in. Hopefully he'll be ready Wednesday night for Wake Forest. We need him. We can't suffer a home loss on Wednesday night to Wake Forest. And then you mentioned key moments of that game. Okay, Caleb also had a key turnover down the stretch where he just stepped out of bounds. Also, the play before he hit the bank 3-point shot. I didn't think we needed the 3-point shot by RJ. I think you could have dribbled and got into the lane and got a better shot. And then, just go from there and play. It's like oranges and apples. You got to figure that thing out. And it came down to a 2-point game. Hats off to them. Hats off to the coaching staff and to the players. They just out. They wanted it more than the Tar Heels on Friday night.
You know what? That's a great call, man. That's a great call. But you know what? We do want to give a couple shout-outs as we start to put the brakes on this thing, coming into our very first show in 2023. But we do want to recognize some people, and again, that has gone on. Number one is the legendary Bill Russell, Mr. Franco Harris, and the superstar soccer player, Mr. Pele, who passed right at the end of 2022. Just three legendary, athletes that, gave what they could give to their respective sports, played it at a very, very high level. But most importantly, of course, I never got, Bill Russell was, didn't really get the chance to see him, but, Pele and the achievements that he won on the soccer field may never, ever be duplicated. And, of course, my main guy, Franco. All of these gentlemen, like I said, have really impacted their sports, and not just their sport, but what they did internationally, globally, and as human beings. So, Coach Quick, man, I tell you what, I just want to give you another shout out, man, as we roll into 2023. I'm excited for where we're going. I know the pipeline is wide open. We got some outstanding guests slated for 2023. I know I'm excited. I know you're excited. So we went from my family to your family, and everybody behind the scenes at the GQ Coaches Show, our sponsors that allow us to be in each and every week. I just thank you for what you do for the show.
And I appreciate it, Coach G, and thank you for everything, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. So with that, Coach Quick, you know where to take it.
For Coach Goins, our very special guest, Taijh Alston, a defensive end for the Colorado University Buffaloes, and for myself, Coach Quick, we'll see you in the locker room.
You have been listening to the GQ Coaches Show with Coaches G and Q, the real talk in sports. ESPN Radio, 1240 The Boss,